and signed by Mayor Miller and all 4 council people.
I see his mom here. Would you like to come up and,
We definitely want to get a picture with you, Rhonda. Really did live with me with a small thing to say on his behalf, but we'll definitely get these pictures and any comments you got. Jenga time. Come on, Rhonda. You get to be in the middle.
I think they were doing these photo ops because they made this a little bigger.
You get right in the middle.
Okay, here we go. Okay, that's where we need you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. You got to say a few words, if you would.
Oh,
Billy, what are you doing?
yeah, he's,
No.
I don't know, sorry.
Think about being a mayor, you might want to try that too.
No, Mayor.
Hopefully you'll share it with Billy.
Thank you so much for acknowledging my son, recognizing him and his accomplishments. He's, just like Josh said, he's done it all. He's been everywhere. He started young. He had already gone out of the country before he even graduated high school, I think, and track and field, U.S. track and field sent him places. Right now, he's in Washington, yeah, looking out, scoping out the cross-country field for the Pac-12 to go up there. They've won it numerous times at the University of Boulder, and so that's where he is right now, just looking at the track to come back and tell all the teammates how it is and what it's going to be like. And they've had, Boulder, Colorado University has had several athletes. One, Jenny Simpson, she is now you can bring up New Balance at any time. She was the one that went with Billy to China and traveled. She's now the full representative for New Balance. And there's another girl coming up that just graduated. There's maybe still waiting for Colorado that's going to be going to the Olympics next year for sure. Probably do really well in the steeplechase. Anyway, thank you so much. He's doing well. He's now the university assistant coach at track and field at the University of Boulder, Colorado, and like he said, the recruiting coordinator. He's still a small man, so nobody even thinks he's anybody, and so he can scout out those young kids and bring them on to Colorado without them even knowing he was there. And so anyway, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your recognition for him, and we just keep on hoping that we get another one.
Well, we're real proud of him. My daughter was a year behind him in school and was on the cross-country team, and we traveled many a time up to the park up there in Fresno for the state meets. And I remember Melissa was in I think 7th or 8th grade, and she saw a bunch of kids running by, and she said, well, that looks like fun. And they were starting out there, and and I said, well, where'd you go today? Oh, we went up to run up to Twin Palms up on the hill up there, and we just did 9 miles today.
Yeah,
for fun. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, he just retired. He called me about a month ago, and he said, Mom, I'm gonna retire. And I said, well, it's okay, Forrest. I'm glad you stopped. Forrest Gump. Yeah, he's still training with the team. He trains 90 miles a week now. Is what he puts in running, and that's on top of coaching.
I wonder if he ever calculated how many miles he thinks he ran during his career.
I don't know.
100,000 better.
Yeah. He does. It's amazing. I don't know. And I don't even know how many countries. I know he's been to Italy,
Well,
everywhere.
he got a great education out of it. He got some international attention, and he got to go to the Olympics. I mean, and he's from Taft, so
and he's from Taft.
That's way good.
That's just a booster. Thanks again.
Well, thank you. All right, give him our best.
I will.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Okay, that was nice. Well, we also have another proclamation, item number 2 on the agenda, and it's the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So, the City of Taft's proclamation declaring September 2015 excuse me, we got a little discussion. Doug. Sometimes when people think they whisper, they don't really whisper. It carries. Okay, here we go. City of Taft, State of California proclamation declaring September 2015 Child Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and Kids, Cancer Connection, report cancer is the leading cause of death by disease among U.S. children between infancy and age of 15. This tragic disease is detected in nearly 15,000 of our country's young people each and every year. And whereas 1 in 5 of our nation's children loses his or her battle with cancer, many infants, children, and teens will suffer from long-term effects of comprehensive treatment, including secondary cancers. And whereas founded over 20 years ago by Stephen Firestein, a member of the philanthropic Max Factor Cosmetic family, the American Cancer Fund for Children, Inc., and Kids Cancer Connection, Inc. are dedicated to helping children and their families. And whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and Kids Cancer Connection provide a variety of vital patient psychological services to children undergoing cancer treatment at Lawrence Small Children's Medical Center at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital, Loma Linda University Children's Hospital, as well as participating hospitals throughout the country, thereby enhancing the quality of life for these children and their families. And whereas the American Cancer Fund for Children and Kids Cancer Connection also sponsor courageous kids recognition award ceremonies, community get well cards, and hospital celebrations in honor of children's determination and bravery to fight the battle against childhood cancer. Now therefore, it be proclaimed, the City Council of the City of Taft does hereby join the other cities in proclaiming the month of September 2015 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in Taft. Signed this dated first day of September 2015 by myself and 4 council members. I understand we don't have anybody here to accept this. It is a terrible, terrible disease, and hopefully we're getting near the point where we can eradicate it. So, again, moving on, item number 3 is the presentation of the proposed year budget. Our finance director has come down ill, as is our head accountant in the finance department. So the budget won't be presented tonight, and we'll what do you call it? Table it. All right, there we go. Table it until the next available meeting that our finance director will be here. And item 4 will be the final approval of the budget, and we will put that off until the next council meeting. We've already gone through the budget process in the Finance Committee, and I think we went over it with pretty much a fine-tooth comb, Councilman Knorr and I. So I think we're prepared to have a solid budget to present to council. Item number 5 is citizens' request for public comment, and this is the time and place for the general public to address the city council on matters within its jurisdiction. State law prohibits the council from addressing any issue not previously included on the agenda. Council may receive comment and set the matter for a subsequent meeting. Please limit comments to 5 minutes. First up is Kenny Smith with Airsoft Course. Kenny, will you state your name and your address, please?
My name's Kenny. I live at 138 Kern Street. There was supposed to be another guy with me today. His name's Ernie White. He happened to get sick, so he's not going to be here. I brought this to the Planning Commission. They asked me to bring it up with you guys before I made a meeting with the Planning Commission, so I'm not really sure, 100% on what I'm doing here. We got in touch with Charlie, who owns Jug and Rose, and he has that piece of property at 301 East Kern Street, right there by the airport off the highway. And he is going to let us use that property in exchange for cleaning it up and removing all the trash and getting rid of the house, demoing that house that's on that property that's been condemned. And so what we are planning to do is to open up an airsoft course. Basically, we're gonna clean it all out. I'm not sure if you guys have.
Give us a definition what air course is?
It's, I can't really give you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard of paintball, right?
Oh, okay.
It's basically along the same lines as a paintball course, except for it doesn't involve any paint. They use small 6mm biodegradable BBs that are made out of plastic. I have a couple copies of this. I don't know if you guys want to look at it. It's got some
Okay.
pictures and stuff, just so you guys can kind of get an idea on what I'm talking about.
You'll hand it to the clerk, or?
Yeah, so you can see from the map, the portion that, on the second page,
You only brought 4?
yeah, I have one more.
You're right. Yeah, we can
Okay, we can show.
Okay.
On the second page, you can see the map of the property. It doesn't include the house, because the stuff that's outlined in yellow is what we intend to use for the course. We have been in contact with Richard Strickton, who is the director of airports. We submitted all this to him and have been in contact with him, multiple times. And he's reviewed everything and gone over with us, and the airport has no issues whatsoever with what we're actually proposing to do there. So basically, it'll just be this area that's outlined in yellow. One of the the building that's marked number 2 is going to be what we want to use for our indoor course. There's a picture right here. It's basically just wooden walls that are not permanent. They can be moved around. And then we're going to use the outside of the facility as well, once we get everything cleaned up. Basically, we're hoping to open a course where, kids can play. Basically, it's going to be an all-age, indoor-outdoor course. The main goal of the course is to supply fun and a safe environment for all ages. The course can be used as real-life situational training environment for local law enforcement, as well as offering real-life training scenarios for them. A lot of police departments are going to this as part of their training, instead of using live ammunition, and where they can actually go in and train in an area without, having to waste money on ammunition and possibly somebody getting hurt. It's going to be staged as an indoor area at first. Once we get that all cleaned up and get that set up, then we want to move to the outside. It will be insured and bonded. There's quite a few safety procedures that are going to go in with this. They use a chronograph to limit the speed of the guns, so they're only limited to, 300 feet per second for the indoor course. And there's, you can see on one of the pages, I put in a picture of some of the safety equipment that's normally required at these type of courses. Basically, I just wanted to present it to you guys so you guys can have a chance to look at it. Maybe give me some comments or feedback, any issues you guys see. The only issues that the Planning Commission brought up to me, the big one was the airport. The second one was it being so close to the housing. We actually went out there with a measuring wheel and measured everything off, and it's 710 feet to the closest house. They were kind of a little concerned with the noise that might be brought up there. I don't really see that being a concern, seeing how it's so far away from the houses, and there's an airport and a highway right there. Like I said, we've been in contact with Richard Strickland, and he said that if anyone has any questions, you're more than free to contact him and just to verify that there are no issues with the airport.
Your plans are to demo the house
Yes.
completely? What about the pool?
The pool will be filled in. It'll be filled in and leveled off. So basically, I don't know for sure, but I know that some of the issue with that house there was because it was at the end of the runway, why they couldn't build anything on that property. So basically, that's just going to be cleared out. There's another lot next to that lot, so everything will be down by the ditch closest to Kmart. Nothing will be down on the end where the airport is.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions?
I think it's a good idea. I like that.
So it's nothing we can do on it tonight because it's not on our
Yeah,
agenda.
I know,
So
I
it has to
know.
go through the planning commission, but we appreciate you coming forth and,
Yeah, they asked me to present it to you guys just in case you guys had any issues with it.
What is your estimated time to have this open?
It depends on how long it takes, you know, with the plan commission. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm not really familiar with, you know, the kind of timeframes that normally takes. He's going to give us 6 months free rent to clean that place up. We want to have it completely cleaned up in 2 months and start building on the 3rd month, get the indoor course ready, and hopefully within 6 months, 8 months, you know, it's kind of hard to
are you
say.
contemplating it still looking like an industrial?
Yes,
tin building,
yeah, we want to leave the warehouses there as part of the actual structure that we're going to be playing in. Everything else is going to be cleaned up, all the weeds are going to be cleaned up, the house, all the trash, there's a portion of the warehouse that has actually been burnt down, and basically we're going to go through and rip everything out of the warehouse that doesn't need to be there, fix anything that's messed up, and clean all the trash out of there. I know Charlie also brought up an issue with the vagrants staying there, so one of our main focuses once we start getting in there is going to be repairing all the fences to make sure, you know, try to keep a handle on people going in there that shouldn't be in there.
Right.
What was the issue with the planning commission? Why were they concerned?
The issues with the planning commission that they brought up to me was the airport and the houses. And they also brought up that it being so close to the highway that they were afraid that people would be driving by and maybe get distracted by what's going on the course. But as you can see, the entire course that we have set up is lined by 15, 20-foot tall warehouse buildings on the entire side of where the highway is. So driving down the highway, you can't see in there. Every issue that the planning...
Most everything you're doing is indoor, not outdoor?
It's gonna start out indoor, but we would like to expand it. You know, there's 17 acres of property there and...
Going east?
East, yes.
Were you gonna charge by the hour for the use of that, or
It'll be by the day,
by the day?
yeah. We haven't set up a price yet. We're looking around the $25 range, and, you know, a wristband will get you in all day. At first, you know, both of us work full-time jobs, but we do work a 4-10 schedule, so we have Friday, Saturday, and Sundays off. So once we first start, it will primarily be just those 3 days open on the weekend. It won't be during the week.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kenny, we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
I'm sure you'll find the process a little daunting, but it'll be friendly and easy. Go through our planning commission. All right,
You gotta leave your guy at home, huh?
I'm sorry?
You gotta leave your guy at home.
All right, next up is Bob Jordan with the Westside Christian Ministers Association.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. This is our second year, as you know, for the, second time for doing a Christian concert. And the WCMA hopes and prays for this Oil Dorado celebration to be the safest and the best in years. We're praying for our citizens, our guests, and our police. This is why we're starting the celebration with a kickoff Christian concert in Pavilion Tent with the groups Sidewalk Prophets and Loving the Outcome. Now, tickets are going to be sold for this at $20. You can get them at the tent itself or at wcma.org, or probably any pastor in town. Now, we'll be concluding this week of community fun and unity by asking the local churches to join us in a community-wide Sunday worship celebration service. We would like all the churches and all the faiths to join us in this final Sunday in the big tent to show unity and love and faith that Taft is. Our guest speaker for this special Sunday service will be TV and radio personality Aaron Perlman. And now, council members, it is my pleasure to honor you with a free ticket to the show. And we are hoping that by giving you these free tickets, as you lead our city in business and understanding, that you'll lead all the others into the tent of love and God. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. That's going to, the kickoff concert's going to be held right after the civic luncheon on Friday the 9th. So do a lot of switching around. So if anybody's available to help, we got to move some chairs and tables.
Plan on being there at 2 o'clock.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob, and thanks to Westside Christian Ministers Association for being a good part of the Oil Dorado celebration. Since that's all of that, we have council statements, non-action. How about Mr. Norton tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to say hello to everybody. Guess what? Oil Dorado is right around the corner. So if you have not seen all the preparation going into the Oil Dorado celebration, then you just haven't been looking. It's been going on for quite some time. The Oil Dorado store is coming along. There's going to be an art exhibit there, I know, for local artists, including Benjamin Victor, who was a sculptor who did our wonderful Oil Workers Monument. A lot of activities, host of activities, the Wood Nickel Gang, and they're going to be at their finest. You can see the mayor, who is dressed appropriately for Oil Dorado. There it is. Can we get a shot of that, please? Focus on
Your
it.
gold watch and your cigar.
Need a pocket watch.
Anyway, it's a great celebration. It is our heritage. It truly is. And the Oil Workers Monument goes all the way back to the incorporation of the city of Taft. So plan for it. Plan on taking some time, spending time. People who have not been fortunate enough to be a part of the Oil Dorado celebration, people who you know, ask them, you ever been there? I've talked to people over in Bakersfield. You know, I've heard about that, but I've never been a part of that. Well, it's your opportunity to enlighten them and create a bright spot in their lives. Bring them over here, make them a part of our Oil Dorado celebration. Show them Taft while we celebrate who we are and what we are. So take the opportunity, they'll appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good time. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you. Ms. Hill?
I'm nothing there, just happy to be here.
All right. Mr. Bryant?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to remind the folks around town, I know the mayor harps on this quite a bit, but, you know, a lot of things, just like our hospital, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I want to remind everybody about all the great businesses we have, specifically in the downtown area. Go down there and spend a couple bucks. Rub elbows with those folks. Those people are just like me and you, but that's their livelihood. And it would mean the world to them just to see you in their store, and it'd mean even more if you bought something there. You don't realize the good that those things do for those folks and for the city. And the Fox Theater is probably a prime example of that. You know, it's a local landmark. I don't know if most of us were here when the Fox Theater shut down the last time and sat dormant for who knows how long. And the excitement that was there whenever the facade lit back up, you know, was palpable. So it's sad to see that could be potentially on the horizon again, and I don't want to let that happen. So, you know, shop Taft, and we mean it, guys. So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's all I've got.
All right. Mr. Cryer?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody that there's crime out there. Make sure you keep your car doors locked and double check it. I was a victim a couple of days ago. I had both my vehicles broken into, and I've been spending a lot of time at the banks, changing everything over, closing the accounts and stuff and everything, and not no fun. And it creates a few headaches, but I want to remind everybody, there's a lot of people out there that there are different things that our friends in Sacramento push through. It's causing a lot of pain for all of us. So make sure your vehicles are locked and your property secured, and keep your eyes open for suspicious people in your neighborhood. And they can be there anytime, a daytime or evening, and day at night. Anytime, be careful. And today is a very special day, September 1st, 10 years. That's all I can say. I can't say any more than that without getting in trouble, but today is a nice day for me, and they just figure it out on there. So it's a mystery there for some of the
Was it the anniversary of you being the owner of the Tumbleweed? Did that have something to do with it?
Yeah, that's not,
I'm gonna throw it out there. That's just a question.
you're a businessman.
Happy anniversary.
You can promote yourself once in a while.
But, you know, it's nice to, you know, I meet a lot of people, a lot of great people out there. A lot of oil friends, I work in the oil fields, a lot of different superintendents and managers out there. Here there's problems they have in their jobs and their industry. It just opens your eyes up what they have to go through. It's like agriculture, all the headaches that we go through government here, local government. And all our own personal use, you go into DMV, the headaches you gotta go through. This is everything on a different magnitude, but That's part of life and why we pay taxes for. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. It's a great day, and Oil Dorado is next month. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you. In regards to the crime, police can't be everywhere, but your eyeballs can be everywhere in your neighborhood. Call it in. You get no trouble. They'll keep it confidential, but if you don't call it in, and something happens in your neighborhood and somebody's car's broken into and you could have prevented it, you're not going to feel very good. So call it in. They'll appreciate your call and they'll respond to it as quickly as we can. We all know that there's these creeps out there that are doing this, and all of us have to stick together. So it's just part of the deal. We don't have a budget that allows us to hire more police, so we have to do with what we have, and everybody has to keep their eyeballs open. So do that, please. Also, we're talking about Mr. Cryer. He is going to open up the old Pioneer Mercantile Building during Oil Dorado and provide catered lunches and stuff there. And I think he's going to have a restaurant. Part of it's going to be a restaurant and bar. And so he's going to try it out and see what kind of response is. And I'm proud to say that on Saturday, October 17th, during the Oil Dorado celebration, after the parade, the city of Taft is sponsoring mayor's luncheon from former mayors of Taft. We have 13 living former mayors, and there is one former mayor I have not heard from yet.
Who's that?
Who's that? So we believe that we're going to have either 10 or 12 of the former mayors show up, and we're looking forward to that. Jerry Helt is also going to be a title sponsor for that, and we appreciate Mr. Helt's contribution towards it. So we're going to be upstairs in the banquet room up there, and it's only be limited to 125 tickets, and they can be obtained through City Hall here, Linda Cole or myself. We're going to be controlling the tickets, but we're going to have former mayors also going to be in the parade, so it's going to be a Mayor's Day on October 17th, so real proud to be a part of that. Okay, next up, Planning Commission report. No report tonight?
Just if I can remember what happened.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I think we did a approval of a variance for a project up on North and Third. The corner building has been a commercial building and has not had successful business in it, I guess now 2 or 3 tries in the last 10 or 20 years. So the owner sought to have a opportunity to turn it into another housing unit. The problem is the size of the lot and the amount of parking, and they needed to have a variance to allow them to do this. They're able to put on-site parking, but not sufficient to meet the requirements of the code. So in the interest that we thought of a better use of the property, that it was appropriate to approve a variance allowing them to make the construction changes to this property. So what you'll have now is you've got, I think it's 3 other buildings alongside. It's actually 3 other apartments in this one it'll increase the amount of housing in the area. It doesn't interfere with the neighborhood particularly. There's parking kitty corner. You've got the Baptist church right across the street, and then a little bit of what you'd call commercial with the school district office there, but that's about it. Anyways, the the Planning Commission thought that it was a good use of the property rather than letting it continue to deteriorate and not properly be able to be used as a commercial site. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Planning, okay, item number 8, department reports. Do we have any department reports tonight? All right, moving on, city manager statements, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to give recognition to the Public Works employees. They're really stepping up, as they always do during El Dorado. They have their regular duties to perform, and then we've kind of added a few lists of projects that they've been working on. We're also working on Center Street alongside the contractors down there to get things ready for not only El Dorado, but just for the downtown. Streets will be repaved, should look nice for the car show. Everyone's getting in the El Dorado spirit, so everyone give their plug. I'm gonna give my plug. I volunteered to help out with the Oilfield Skills Competition that will be out at the Petroleum Club, October 10th. Signups will be from 10 a.m. to approximately 11. We hope to kick it off about noon. This year, we're hoping to actually have some dirt being moved instead of balls on cones and such. So we're hoping to get back to the mid-'80s action where they're actually going to be digging some dirt out there. And Total Western is a presenting sponsor of the event alongside General Production Services, Kern Raceway Park. Total Western's been doing quite a bit of dirt work out there, getting ready, prepping the dirt area for the actual event. So the sign-up should be out sometime this week. At the end of the week, they'll be available at the El Dorado store at the Taft Chamber. And there's a email for questions. It's oilfieldskills@gmail.com if anyone has any questions. So that's my plug for El Dorado.
All right. The El Dorado store will be open, have a grand opening on October 1st. And they plan to run from 9 to 6 every day, and Sunday, I think, 10 to 5 or something. So save your money up. They're going to be stocking it up here pretty soon, and they got a lot of the same kind of merchandise we've had in the past, but they've got some new stuff that be particular to this El Dorado. So,
And the skills competition is $25 to enter, and we're looking at having the welder, backhoe, crane, roustabout, and a road grader competition course out there.
road grader, that's something new, so it'll be interesting to go see that. And the date you're planning on doing that?
That's October 10th. We're hoping that the folks will go enjoy what's going on uptown at the car show and stuff, and then make their way out to the Petroleum Club. And we hope to have some equipment demonstrations out there from various equipment places in Bakersfield. And we like to finish the night off with a live band and some outside entertainment if the weather's nice.
Cool. All right, thank you. Item number 10. Item 10, city attorney statements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No statement.
All right.
Except he looks
Once
forward to
again,
El Dorado.
we don't have to hear from a lawyer, that's good.
He looks forward to his first El Dorado.
That's true.
Item number 11, future agenda requests. Any council persons wish to?
I do, Mayor.
Oh, okay, Mr.
I'd
Fryer.
like to get a proclamation, if possible, for October, for the Human Trafficking Awareness Month. For next month.
Okay. I'll concur on that. You have somebody you can direct the
Yes.
information to
It's all
the city clerk?
Well, I'm thinking,
Okay, good.
I will be taken care of.
All right, any other items?
No, sir.
Okay, well, now we move on to the consent calendar. Items 12 through 15, all items listed on the consent calendar shall be considered routine and will be enacted by one roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the city council requests specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. Any item removed from the consent calendar will be considered after the regular business items. Are there any items on the consent calendar that any member of the public would like to comment on? Okay. Item number 12, minutes of the August 18th regular meeting. Item 13, payment of bills. Item 14, funding to the Taft Chamber of Commerce for the quarter of April 2015 to June 2015. That's the 25% of the transit occupancy tax that we get through the hotels. Item 15, accepting a donation of a television stand and DVD player from church. What, do we know what a church? Which church?
English Taft Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, okay. Taft Congregation of the Jehovah Witnesses have donated a television stand and DVD player, approximate value of $500 for use at the City Modified Community Correctional Facility, and we appreciate that donation. Is there any items on the consent calendar or any council person would wish to take off?
No, sir.
All right, Madam Clerk, will you, wait, we have to have,
Read on.
motion
I'll
to
make that
approve items
motion.
12, 13, 14, 15.
I'll make that motion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Second it?
Okay, motion second. Madam Clerk, will you take roll call now, please?
Yes. Councilmember North,
Yes.
Councilmember Cryer,
Yes.
Councilmember Bryant,
Yes.
Councilmember Hill,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes, and that passes on a 5-0 vote. Thank you. Item number 16, Economic Development Committee, confirm set meeting and invite at-large members. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. On July 9th, 2015, the City Council and Planning Commission held a joint public meeting for an Economic Opportunities Workshop. At the August 18th, 2015 City Council meeting, staff presented a summary report with the comments and suggestions provided from the workshop. Mayor and the city manager concurred that the Economic Development Committee to be formed to further refine workshop comments and determine a course of action. City committees are typically comprised of 2 council members, 2 commissioners, city staff, and 2 at-large members. Staff suggests the council select 2 council members to sit on the committee. The planning commission will meet on September 2nd, 2015, and will choose their 2 members. At this time, staff recommends the council direct the city clerk to open the public interest period for members of the public to submit a letter stating their qualifications and interest to serve on the committee. Staff also suggests the council set first meeting date comprised of the 2 council members and commissioners to review the interest letters submitted by potential at-large members. The committee will make recommendations to the full council of their choices of the at-large seats.
All right, so we need to form a ad hoc committee of the city council for, and do we have a name for it? Economic Development Committee?
Ad hoc committee.
Got a real ring to it. Maybe the committee will come up with a better name for it than that, so. But at least we'll start out with that. Does any council person desire to serve on that?
I would like to.
Very much do.
Okay, anybody else?
I truly believe Councilmember Hill holds this near and dear to her heart, so I would have been just floored had she not jumped at the opportunity. I was going to nominate her. And Councilmember Bryant, I believe he'll do a fine job as well.
Thank
So
you.
I would concur with both of them.
Okay, well, I believe as mayor, do I have the, or do we have to vote on this?
Let's take a vote, please.
Well, now you speak up. All in favor of Councilman Hill and Bryant to be ad hoc members on the Economic Development Committee, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That passes on a 5-0 vote.
I'm not sure if we were supposed to vote or if we were supposed to abstain or what.
They don't matter.
That's right.
You can vote for yourself.
Figured I'd go with it until Jason said no.
Voted for one another.
There you go.
So,
You voted
now-
for yourself a council, didn't you?
That's true.
okay, we need an alternate. I wouldn't mind serving as the alternate.
I would concur with that self-nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Then the city clerk, you will designate an interest period by publication in local papers. Let
Yes, we'll do
people
it
know that
every day.
we're looking for at least three others, huh? Let's see, we're going to have 2 commissioners, city staff,
2 city staff.
and how many at large?
I think we're going to start off with 2 and then see how it goes from there. It could be 3.
Well, you want to
We're
have
going to
it odd.
evaluate the application.
Okay, and, yeah. Okay, well.
It's an ad hoc committee, so it's not a standing council committee, so they really can't, it's just an advisory committee.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is important, and it's a good start, and Mark Staples will be heavily involved in this, our planning director, so, cool. Then that, okay, we're on our way on that, so the next item on the agenda is closed session. Item A, conference with labor negotiator Craig Jones, city manager, government code 54957.6, all units. Item B, conference with real property negotiator Craig Jones, city manager, government code section 54956.8, 410 Supply Row. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to adjourn to closed session. We appreciate your attendance and